LLC, Crystal Edge Technology Screens, and the new FLE-BT company. Where's my remote control? So, yeah, this is my $2 setup. Pretty much just a cardboard setup. My screen's made out of cardboard. The desk is made out of cardboard. Pretty much, I'm going to be basically adding another application to the top area because I had to reinforce it just a little bit because it was designed to be a screen and not a table. I turned it into a table at the last minute. But anyway, let me go back here and show how amazing this technology looks. We're using for our projectors, we're using on the black technology, this is our ALPHA CINEMAX BLAck. We're using our Pico projector at 50 lumens, and on the other side over here, we're using a 1000 lumen projector, our Sony VPL CS4 projector, 720p 600 by 800 res at 1000 lumens, of course, said it already. And then here we got our 50 lumen projector playing on this side. It's also to a 720p projector. So we can run 50 lumens, we can run 1000, doesn't really make a difference. Now, I also too find this kind of interesting that, you know, I don't even know how to go about this, but we get people who, again, we call them the crybabies. They cry about everything. They cry literally about everything. So, yeah. So what I mean by, well, that bird's really freaky. What I mean by they cry about everything. If I ask you a simple question, and the simple question is going to be, what screen do you have at the end of the day? So, you know, if you name any of the certifieds, we beat the certified screens already. If you name the screen paint products, we beat those, and the majority of those canceled out anyway. So that's with that. We've actually purchased other screen paints from other places. We've got samples in. Went through Amazon, and there's nothing for us on Amazon to buy or do demonstrations against. There's nothing on eBay. We've already done Goose Screen already and paint on screens. And again, like I said, majority of all certifies we've done already. The only certifies we have not been able to do is a physical screen would be Dragonfly. That's it. And we tested just about everything you could possibly think of. So, yeah, when it comes down to me asking the question about what screen do you have, they just don't want to talk about it. Most of them will point to OLEDs. Well, why are you complaining about projection screens and our projection screen products if you don't even own a projector and you don't even own the screen? Well, what is that all about? And it's just people just want to cry for the sake of crying. But this is my technology right here. I can run this on a projector. Both of these are 140 bucks that I paid for my projectors, not 140 each. Together combined, they come to $140. Let me come over here. Oops, sorry, I'm bumping the instead of my stand. So, you know, if you're calling me and you're calling me to say, I'm going to ask you a question. What do you have? What do you have? Just a couple minutes of my time I can give to you. What do you have? If you swing over to OLED, please. You're just being what can I say? You're being a joker. Then we could take an OLED. It's not a problem. We have black technology right here. And again, why would you be contacting me, crying to me, if you are a TV user? Because again, TV users really don't, at the end of the day, put them in the same category as a projection screen at all. Period. They consider themselves to be better than a projection screen setup. So, for you to be in there having that conversation with me, it doesn't make any sense at all. I think you have one of those paints, and I think it bothers you that those paints don't work correctly. Again, this is not my fault, not my problem. You need to take this up with the people who basically made these products and request for better testing. Or maybe they're just mad at the end of the day because they are requested to do tests and they don't want to do tests. And look at that as the fact that maybe they're getting some pressure from maybe whatever customers they have left. Or if they do receive any customers, they're going to ask questions about, is your product tested? What's your return policy? Do you have batch numbers? They're going to compare you to me. And that's something you're not going to like. So again, that's not my problem. Nor do I care. It's not my problem. As long as I can come on here and do a demonstration on my $2 projection screen. use my 720p projectors, produce whatever I want, and come up with an outstanding image. Here's what I'm going to do with this one over here. Now, for our customers, the beautiful thing about our technology, this right here is our Infinity. This is not the Infinity. This is the ALPHA Black CINEMAX. The screen that can read a 100% contrast level. It has FLE technology, which means it has the ability to be able to pull up in fully lit environments with no problem whatsoever. Does not require expensive projectors of any kind to make the screen look this way or that way. And it doesn't require dark environments, which I do not like to do. Dark environments, there's no point in that. It's a very easy demonstration to do. I'd rather do a demonstration with the lights on. It's much more challenging. And this technology is a one-code application, which means there's no complicated or hard instructions. Just like the colored screen paints, we were able to just paint over the screen with just one application and we're done. Look at the image coming off of that. That is interesting to watch. I want to get something on my other screen over here. That's my background music. Got a little visual effect playing in the background. We do got one. Put our visual effects on. What we got on here? Oh man, that is definitely a seizure waiting to happen. Now, this is all cardboard, as I said before, and coated with our amazing black technology. It has that heightener 4 technology that allows our screens to be able to read white light, as you're looking at right there. I'm trying to figure out something else I'm going to put on this screen over here. I'm going to put a cool design on here. But I want it in portrait, because you got to set up a portrait. That's what I want. It's not going to give me portrait. It looks just like it's not portrait. Looks like it could be, but it's not. Let me go ahead and grab something. Portrait. Yeah, that would definitely be it. I'll take that. You see how beautiful that image looks? This is our top screen. It's an ALPHA CINEMAX Black. There is no screen that can literally take this screen on. None at all, period. There's no certified, there's no screen paints, there's nothing that can take this technology on. It has one of the most brutal tests that we've ever put in any of our technology. Its advancement levels are absolutely insane. And it can convert anything into a high performance screen. Now, the only people that would be upset with our technology is people who make gray screen paint products. I can't explain this enough. It's an obsolete product. It doesn't read. It just doesn't read. Next to our color screens, we got the one color screen under called the Scorch Pink Rose. The Scorch Pink Rose is a screen that's it's kind of a rosy, kind of dark pink. That's what it is. And it literally picks up a higher white level than a gray screen. It reads better contrast than a white screen. I'm sorry, in a gray screen. It doesn't read. That's why I said it's an obsolete product. We give that product away for free. And it has limitations, which means you can't use it on everything. And if I'm trying to use this on my, why is this not sticking here? If I'm trying to use this on my projector desk right here, it's not going to work at all, period. I can't read the contrast levels. I can't read color. It's just not going to work. There you go. That same grayish tone is the same grayish tone we picked up on the color screens. It's not going to read at 1,000 lumens. It's not going to read at 50 lumens. It won't read at 4,000. It won't read at 5,000. They don't read. So what would be the point of me coating my desk with a gray screen paint? We make it, not a problem. So what would be the point? It's not going to read. I'm literally going to have to turn my lights out in order to use that screen. And again, this is not a home theater setting. If I want to do something like, let me see, outer space screensaver. I want to do an outer space screensaver effect. It's definitely not going to pick up on that. So none of the contrast, it's not going to pick up on any of the contrast we have here. Here, right here, this is a nice little cockpit design. Can't use it for gaming simulators either because it won't work. Can't use it inside, can't use it outside. It doesn't function. So we'll put a nice little design here. So we got a nice little spaceship coming past. And as you see, we're producing outer space, but the gray screen can't read it. Now we got some pretty colors over here on my other screen. This is my projector at only 50 lumens. And as you can see, it doesn't read properly on the gray screen. So let's do, let me see. This one we have microphones hooked up to it. I want to go to, let me see. Let's see. Vertical outer space. Vertical outer space. Ship it down. Vertical outer space screensaver. Not critical. Vertical. I'm gonna basically go in there and check that software. Vertical screensaver outer space. Oh, finally clicked to that one. So it's gonna cut me off. So let's see which one we want. We got a Tokyo skyline. Oh, I've never seen that one before. Oh, there's another one. Ooh, when did we get this? So see this side right here? We're doing Tokyo skyline. This we're doing a deep outer space display. Can't pick up the contrast. I can't read it. It's coming up gray. That's literally supposed to be black. Come switch over here. So how's that going to work on my desk? What do I do to fix that gray screen at the end of the day? Do I turn all the lights out in my environment, make it pitch black in here and throw some white lights behind the back of my screen? No, that's not going to work. I won't be able to read anything. I'm on my desk. It's not a dedicated theater room right here. This is an actual desk for work. So how do I get the gray screen to function for me? My projector over here, I got to go spend the money for a more expensive machine with a much more beefier contrast level to fix it. That still doesn't work. They still don't read. So how do we fix that problem? We don't use it. That's what we do. That's how we fix it. Because it doesn't work. I like this whole thing right here. This one right here I like. Oh, they got a bunch of these on here. Oh, I like this one. That one's pretty hot. What else we got on here? I like that one right there. I like that setting right there. That virtual setting. It's beautiful. Definitely like that one. I'm going to keep that one right there. That's playing a little jazz music, but we can't hear it because I got it muted because I got the copyright-free music playing right now. So, first thing I ask is, When we get the criers, we call them the town criers, will contact me upset. Oh, you're this, you're that. All right, I'm all these things at the end of the day. Where are your tests? Where is your test? Where are they at? Come on, show me some tests on your product. I've been through your sites. I'm not going to go through it again. We're done with that. Take the time. How come we have cancel orders? What's the deal with that? What's the deal with my cancel orders? Explain some of this stuff. I can't explain anything. Okay, just go into insults, which when you go into insults, it doesn't bother me at the end of the day. It just shows me in the day you don't have anything left. That's what you're telling me. People who are educated and they know what they're talking about, they're just going to unleash more knowledge on you. That's what they're going to do. People who don't know what they're talking about, they're just going to hurl insults at you because, again, they feel this is the way it's going to hurt you. But to a person that's more intelligent than you are, they're not going to get upset by that. They're going to look at it as a way as that's all you have. That's how we see you. That's all you have. You don't have anything left. This is why I want to open up chat rooms and I invited these people in. We were met by emojis and laughing and carrying on and curse words and threats and stuff like that because you don't have anything. That's it. Your product is obsolete. We give that away for free. So it doesn't work. And if it did, I would find oodles of demonstrations outside and inside, fully lit environments, different forms of projectors and testing and all that. We can't find any of that stuff. We even tried working with the stuff on site. It doesn't work at all, period. So basically, your entire page, website, whatever you talk about on YouTube is based on a lie. Can't back it up. And as they keep running their mouths, I just go, okay, yeah. Well, here's the deal. If you feel that all this is fake, you take me to court and sue me. Because I'm definitely taking you to court and sue you, so knock yourself out. My number's right there. I still haven't had an attorney call me yet, and I'm still waiting. Where's the lawyer at? Okay. Man, there's nothing there. No, period. In April, May, and June, we'll be filing multiple lawsuits involving copyright infringements. Yes, those lawsuits are coming back stronger than ever. Yeah, no right using my copyright for my permission. Defamation, using my face without my permission, slandering my products, committing fraud against my product. All those lawsuits will be popping up between those months. And as I said before, we hired an investigator because if we can't find the rest of you, we will find you. So you can call up and cry if you want. Don't care. Sometimes we already know it's you from the door. We pick up anyway because sometimes it's kind of funny just hearing you cry. Because again, you can call me this, that, and the other. I'm a scammer. I'm a rip-off artist. By the way, where's my black paint? Got testing coming up pretty soon. You know, I could use the black paint. But I'll buy it anyway myself as usual because again, can't back up your claim. All you do is cry. And I told you, the minute we came with the color screen paints, here come the crybabies already. I bet you're on the channel right now taking my videos and crying about my work at the end of the day. Because that's all you could do. You think it bothers me that you take my videos and you cry about it? No, I got an investigator tracking all your information, everything you're doing. So when we bring you into court, we can show all your activity in front of the courtroom when we sue you. So go ahead, cry away. But on the top of that, it just shows people at the end of the day that here we are developing new technology, building and design and stuff, and all you're doing is just crying. Now, keep in mind, gentlemen, I am taking you to court for your company committing fraud. So you will be going to court on it. You'll have to back those products up because we are charging you with fraud. You'll get your documents and paperwork. You'll have a process server. We'll be coming to your front door to basically pin it there. What do they got to do at the end of the day? I don't care as long as they have it there to let you know that you're being brought into court because your company has actually committed several serious violations. So we've been doing some little work off camera, making sure we get you ready for summertime or midsummer, getting close to summer, to get you in court to sue you. So you're going to have to back that up. You're going to have to. And keep in mind, any accusations you made against me, this is very important when you listen here, you're going to have to back that up because it's going to cost you a lot of money. So anything you said about my company, anything, and you can't back this up in court, you're going to literally lose your shirt. And I'm dead serious. You're going to literally lose your shirt. You know, it's funny. We had this one guy on there who came in running his mouth about how my products were this, that, and the other. And we're taking him to court. Actually, we filed a lawsuit against him for 12 grand. He did a chargeback on my company. And I had this conversation with him. I'm not going to show you the email. It's between me and him. And he says, well, I got myself an attorney too. We're going to sue you for fraud. Knock yourself out. I'm still waiting for his attorney to contact me. We haven't got anybody yet. So we sent over the videos of the shipbacks. Not only do your product has a batch number underneath of it, but we do shipbacks, which means the product can come here. We can test it out, which would have happened to his, but he refused to ship back. He didn't want to send it back. And after seeing all that tons of information and evidence on our product, we haven't heard from him since. But he's going to hear from us very soon. And this may cost him more than 12. It may cost him $80,000. We may take him to civil court and sue him. This is why you don't do fake nonsense. You don't do fake claims with the bank, because then the bank's going to get involved in that. They're going to wonder why you got a lawsuit filed against you, and you're going to have to back up your claim with them, because we can go to the bank and we can back it up too with no problem. So that's why I say it's just better to just do things honestly. Don't do dumb stuff at the end of the day. That gray screen is making me depressed. It doesn't work for nothing. And you got people out there that are crying and whining on camera that you're lying. This is why your company's being caught in court on being brought to court on fraud. You made false statements that your great product could produce these amazing 100% contrast levels. It doesn't match house paint at the end of the day. You actually deceived your customers and told them things that weren't true. On top of that, you have perjury on an LLC. You know who you are now, don't you? Yeah, we filed already against you. So we're bringing your company to court. Also, the other one's coming to court too, because he put things on his site that weren't true. Like range gain does not exist. You're literally going to have to back this claim up. Because again, anyone buying this product, and this is where it becomes fraud, if you put something on your site, you put a shopping cart on this, and a customer comes in and buys it, and you can't back this up, this is considered to be fraud. This gets you a lot of trouble. So you're going to have to back this up. Unless you're going to remove it altogether off your site and get rid of it. But any accusations you make on your site that are not true and you can't back this up, this is going to get you sued. This is the reason why, gentlemen, I can do a ship back and you can't. Why I can do a batch number and you can't, and why I have testing on my products, because I know my stuff. And you can't do any of those at all, period. Let's look at this right here. We're doing, let me see, I'm going to change this up to something over here. Very important. Now, am I bothered by the person who called me up ranting? No, actually, I laughed about it, because again, it shows me at the end of the day we're ruffling those feathers. Whatever I do ruffles your feathers. We make a new screen paint that ruffles your feathers. We show testing and things that are supposed to be done and demonstrations properly. You get mad about that. We do demonstrations outside. You get mad about that. We go on site and do demonstrations. You get mad about that. That sounds like a whole lot of jealousy to me. A lot of jelly and no peanut butter. You don't even have anything worth my time testing. There's nothing there. I mean, at least give me something. You can't even get anything from me. It's a waste of time. Besides, once you get to the point where you remove an entire state to keep you from buying something, yeah, that kind of tells me right there from the door that you can't back your stuff up. When we get cancellations and the person's constantly crying all over the cancellations, that tells me you can't back yourself up. So you got to do what you do best, gentlemen. You have become trolls. That's what you become. Internet trolls. That's what you are. And that other stuff he said he made called Silent Night. Yeah, right. There's no screen paint called Silent Night. We couldn't find that stuff for nothing at all, period. Oh, I'm going to put something. We got a little snow thing going over here. Let me see. What's this right here? Realistic spaceship cockpit. I don't know what that looks like. Oh, I forgot. Your stuff doesn't even work on projector mapping applications either. Doesn't work on that. And like I said, even my color technology can read better than your gray screen. I just showed it right there. And if you sit there and say, that's not my product, oh, it's your product at the end of the day. It definitely is. Anytime that you basically smear black paint into a $4.97 container so you can taint the product so you can make your product look different, you have matched that product. That's why the container was open, because you did it offline before you did it online. You learned your lesson from the Network Grade 773 when you came on there and popped that container with that receipt and your product matched. But this time around, you tested it off like hammer. So nobody would know offline, so no one would know they matched. And that's when you figured out that it was going to match your product, and that's why you mixed your product in there. Yeah. And then did I read your mind? I think I just did. So again, I can just make your free mix. It's right there. Metallica Mix 2.0. It pretty much matches everything else that we had down there. We had the Personal Mix match that. The Cinemax matched that. It matched everything. Another thing too, I noticed, and well, I've been noticed this already. You only did the Network Gray against one product. You know, we did it against 3 of your products, right? We did the Cinemax, we did the Metallica Mix, and we did the Personal Mix. You only did the Cinemax, and you stopped right from the door. Right there from the door, you stopped. So how come you didn't do the rest of them? Because we did 3 of them, and you only did 1, and it's your product at the end of the day. You did do it. You did it offline to see what would happen, and it matched. That's why we haven't heard anything from the rest of those tests that were supposed to be done. So we did more in our demonstration versus yours. I like this one right here. That looks like something from like what's that? Oh, look at this right here. That looks something like freaking it's not Vectrex. It's it is Vectrex. It's just like Vectrex. Oh, that's freaking cool. And they don't build simulators like that. I mean, probably do. They're probably like an arm and a leg to get one like that. Oh, with the snow in the background, that reminds me of oh, what game was that? You basically had to fight these creatures on this planet that were alive. I can't think of the name of it, but the entire thing was wrapped around in snow, and you literally your weapons would freeze up on you. Oh, I can't think of that game. It was actually one of my favorite games to play too. They'll pop on my head later on. But that's what Cockpit reminds me of. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, my personal favorite. I like this one right here. Yeah, it bugs them. It bugs them. Every time we paint a screen down, it bugs them. We have a one-coat application, not that whole nonsense of pushing paint around to paint let the screen down. That's stupid. A light roll, a medium roll, or whatever, pressure roll, that's stupid. You just paint the screen, and you think anyone's gonna... The problem you have when you start doing that pressure roll nonsense, and people have been doing that for a while, that pressure roll, light roll, pressure roll, that's a headache, because the reason why the customer really doesn't know how much pressure that they're putting down on the roller, that they could mess the screen up. So if you're telling me to put a light application on a roller, you know people are going to get that wrong. That's kind of like having a circle, and you start off saying something, and by the time it gets to the last person, it's a completely different story. That's what you just did to your customer. So you make it a headache at the end of the day. And then on top of that, I'm just pushing paint all over a surface just to get it wet, and I'm not actually painting it. Again, I told you, that's a headache for the customer. See how fast it took me to coat these boxes in? That's it. Done. One hit, you're done. Not sitting there. You literally have an instruction on your site on how to stir the paint. That's nuts. Who the freak's gonna sit there and stir paint that long? Yeah, that's definitely gonna be a problem. And then it still didn't come out the right color. And another thing I noticed too, in the video that's missing off your account, the one that's supposed to explain the range gain, which we know doesn't exist, but the one basically showing you how to paint the screen in, I noticed that when you came back, because you edited that part about the drying time, it was a different color. Which means you went and did what the other one did. He painted that screen came up gray, and he came back and it was black all of a sudden. So this doesn't bother me, it's going to hurt you, because guess what? Consumer, if they decide to buy this stuff, they're going to have a lot of problems with it, and you can't explain any of it, and you're going to get chargebacks, you're going to get hit with not as described, because again, If I buy your stuff and I go, hey, look, you got this range gain on there, of course I'm going to go for the higher gain. Who's not going to go for the higher gain? If I asked you the question, how do we do this? What technique do I paint down with the same paint to get this particular gain? Because I'm definitely going to be skeptical about it. Can you explain to me how to do this? And it's funny because I've been asking you this for 2 years. And you haven't showed me anything at all, period. So if you can't show me, you can't show them. That means you lied on your site and put something there that shouldn't have been there. Rear projection, you don't have rear projection capability. Not on that mess, you don't. I haven't seen one demonstration yet on that product in rear projection at all, period. So everything you're doing is wrong. The way you paint the screen in, you're doing it vertical. You're doing it vertical? No, he's doing it horizontal. He's horizontal. You're horizontal when you paint the screen in. You don't do that. It's a headache. Nobody paints screens in that way. You know why? It's a freaking headache. So you're going to have to stretch your roller from one end all the way to another. A 150-inch screen is 7 feet by 13. So you're going to stretch across 13 feet to hit the one side and bring it back. That's a headache. That's why in the demonstration, when you were doing the 4x7, you were on your toes as you were holding the handle at the very end to get the paint, the roller, then meet the other side and come back. That's a headache. Everybody paints screens this way, not this way. I think what he tried to do, he tried to come and he tried to change things around and make it sound like he knows what he's talking about, but you don't know what you're doing at all, period. Period at all. And these water paints. What do y'all keep putting water in y'all paints? I'm noticing. Y'all try to make ourselves, we give y'all permission. Y'all kept putting water in the paint. Why do y'all keep doing that? I have no idea why. That's the dumbest thing. You basically know you break down the product when you do that. You damage it. That's what you do. Usually, not saying all painters, but painters I've worked with, not saying all of them, sometimes they'll put water in the paint to stretch it. Instead of just going out and spending the money for an extra gallon, which would pretty much cover what they're doing, they would rather put water in it. Some people have actually put milk in it to stretch it. So I don't know what the purpose of that, of putting water into it. What's that for? And then the amount of water you put in there, you can tell it's so much of it because the paint has this kind of bubble, kind of English muffin effect that goes off, which is quite disgusting on a screen, because if it looks like that with all those kind of skin textures that look like they're like skin grafts that are rising up, and then you have this kind of English muffin bubble effect, that's nasty. Don't want your screen looking like that. Ooh. 4K demonstration. If you're going to call yourself at the end of the day coming at me, back up at least something that you got. You see how I come on camera? So I can use these two little entry-level projectors. I'm watching off the screen, fully lit environment. I can put gray screens up there, certify, all that good stuff. Technology, take it out with no problem. See how I can do that? That's what you're going to have to do. Go up there and explain that freaking range gain. How the heck does that stuff even work at the end of the day? Because if you can't explain it, then that means you lied. And that means you lied, that means you're an untrustworthy person to do business with. You committed fraud. Now, one thing you need to remove off there, not only the range gain you need to get rid of because that's not real, but that rear, claiming your product is rear projection, you don't have enough information to explain it to be rear technology. So is it a one-coat application or is it a multi-coat application? Is it a multi-coat application because it allows you to be able to adjust the darkness of the screen, which means how many applications it takes to tint it? And if you're doing it that way, then for each application, how much a lamp glare pushes through? Like if you're in your first application, how much light's going to transfer through if you're using a 1,000 lumen projector? What's the breaking point? Like, okay, can I take a 5,000 lumen projector and stick it like a couple of inches from the screen without the lamp glare transferring through? What's the angle gain? Oh, isn't that beautiful? What's the angle gain on your rear projection? So if I slam to the side, can I pick that up with no problem whatsoever? And I have to be to do this in a fully lit environment. Mind, you have to have lights on both sides of the screen. So you can show that if I have this in a well-lit environment, then the light on the opposite side is not going to wash out the screen on the opposite side. You're going to have to show that. Do you know how to do a setup for rear projection technology involving lens shift projectors? When are ultra short throw projectors needed when you're using rear projection technology? you're missing a whole lot of stuff. So the simple fact that when you sat there and said you use a roller, you just clearly told me you don't know what you're talking about. They never use rollers on rear projection because, as I said before, you can get the smoothest roller in the world. You're going to have these little imperfections that are going to pop up. What's your transfer rate? You probably need to know what a transfer rate is. What's your transfer rate? So basically your clarity transfer rate, which means that most of the times, if you don't mix the chemical correctly or whatever you're making, you could have these little bits of black or whatever didn't break down. Now, normally on a front projection, you wouldn't see this at all because it would blend in. But in a rear, you would definitely see it, because what will happen is if your product didn't break down correctly and you got these little tiny specks, this would transfer through on the other side of the screen, especially if you're doing a solid white level. That's how you test it. So have you done any of those tests whatsoever? Because what I saw in your demonstration when you did your close-up screen, I saw these little tiny specks popping up on your screen. What it is whatever powder or pigment you put into your product, it didn't break down properly. How would I know this? The constant stirring of your paint. No one does this. In any demonstration I've watched people with screen paint, they never stir it that much. That back to front, side to side, because whatever you have in there, it's not mixing too well. Even if you were to rigorously shake it up, it doesn't mix well because you got a lot of water in there. That's why. And the reason why you put the water into it, because you wanted to give it like a skin-like coating, like it was very thin. That's why you kept hitting keywords like a thin skin-like coating over and over again, like in the goopity goo nonsense, where basically you can clearly see that half of that container was water and the other half was paint. But you try to chalk it up by saying it's a form of delivery system that basically keeps the paint from evaporating. That's a lie. That water's in there to give the paint a skin-like kind of texture. That's what it's for. Man, you don't do your homework well. And if you take that nonsense to any form site, which you don't do, and we never see you in those form sites, it's because they would break it down for you and tell you exactly the same thing I just told you. That's why the video went missing. Another reason why the video also went missing, when Jamie was trying to make our product for 67 cents, didn't we give you permission to do this already? Well, again, like I said, like what you call a cry for help, just desperately trying. It's like trying to stab someone in a dark room. You're just trying, but you're not hitting anything. So let me explain to you. So when you poured out that paint, claiming it to be ours, it had that same kind of English muffin texture to it, that gritty kind of styrofoam look. And I've seen that somewhere before. I saw it in his video demonstration when he painted down the screen, which clearly tells me at the end of the day that you guys are just adding a lot of water to your paint. And that's what he did. You gave up his secret on how his product was made. And right after I came to that conclusion, his video went missing off his site, which means you already told me already from the door. See? Easy. Gee, but there should have been a lawyer. Madlock. Madlock. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I have somebody order your stuff and we break that thing down and find out exactly the majority it's water. So that's why you can't have me ever get your product. Because if I get your product, you know the testing we do under our technology, you can't pass it at all. You know you can't. And the reason why you know this is why you've gone through painstaking trials to keep us from touching it, because you know it doesn't work, like removing an entire state to keep you from going near it, or the multiple cancellations, which we already have on you. Oh, look how amazing that looks. 600 by 800. Isn't that gorgeous? That's absolutely gorgeous right there. I'm going to go back and look at this whole water thing. That was pretty cool looking. On top of that, the Series C is on a black paint spray. That explains why you're doing your demonstrations. You never did a contrast demonstration on it. The other guy did the contrast demonstration. That's why the screen came out gray. And your demonstration on your site, you kept the screen way past the bottom level, and you made sure you didn't show any contrast levels when you were doing this side by side to a product that you claimed to be mine. And by the way, I'm suing you for that, so you know that. But anyway, so when he did the demonstration, he actually showed a contrast level. And right there, it showed that the reason why your screen was producing such a high white level is because it wasn't physically black. Your screen was actually gray. So, knowing this and getting caught and busted in the situation, he proceeded to go on and do another demonstration, but remove those vital parts and continue to lie. this is where you're going to be slammed with a fraud charge. Both of you. Because you both were all together on this. Gee, my goodness. You know, if you get it wrong, you just basically put down as a test, and we're working on making the product. But the problem is that you basically made the product that it wasn't testing. You made it so that the product was actually already done. That's just what's getting you in trouble. So you're just going to prove it works. If not, it's going to cost you your shirt. Now, if I want to waste time and I don't have it, I got friends in other states that can buy your stuff. That'd be really embarrassing, wouldn't it? And they'll tell you, they're buying it for me. What are you going to do? You're going to cancel the order too? As a matter of fact, I'm going to have to do this. I need to prove my point. I'm going to have a friend of mine, like I said, I got a friend over in Texas. I'm going to have him order your stuff. And he's going to let you know who he's buying it for. And let's see if you cancel the order. There we go. Now for the other one, no, we don't need to buy your stuff anymore. We've been through your stuff, but I got so many cancellations on your stuff, it's not even funny. I got cancellations on your stuff before you had your website. When you were on eBay, we got cancellations. So we know your stuff don't work. Besides, we can make it for free. We got a tutorial video showing how to make it. And if you're counting the Cinemax to be the flagship of your product, remember, you keep forgetting this. I don't know how, but you keep forgetting this. You match this stuff with, remember, red hoodie, receipts, showing container, you matched. Which you're going to have to, since you're online complaining about how your product didn't match the paint. We all saw it. This is one of the claims we're taking into court for. So you're going to paint that screen up next to that network gray in that courtroom, and you're going to have to convince that judge that your company didn't commit fraud and continue to sell a product out on the market knowing that that stuff was matching house paint. And lying and saying it was something that it wasn't. That's what you're going to be charged with. That's one of your charges you're going to be charged with. So, you don't show up to this one, it's going to hurt you because this can involve some criminal charges. Consider fraud against your company. That's a 30-year prison sentence. Depending on how you want to go with it, I would advise you show up. Lawsuits, you got to show up. There's no consequence. You can go to jail for a lawsuit. You're just going to lose your stuff. That's all. But those particular charges you're putting against your company, I would advise you show up to those. But those you're going to have to prove that your product doesn't match house paint. Now, if you alter and change the product in any way whatsoever, this is still not going to help you. Because it's going to show that basically you're trying to hide something, and that's not going to go well. What they're going to do is they're going to hit you for the simple fact that the minute you found out that that product matched house paint, that is the time you should have basically pulled it off your shelf, submitted an apology to your customers, and basically tried to make a product that doesn't match what you just matched in your demonstration. Because they're going to ask you how soon, when you came to this conclusion, did you remove this product off your site? Now, 6 months, 7 months, a year, any that goes by, then what's going to happen is you're going to be charged for that. You're going to get in trouble for that. And then they're going to dig through your finances. They're going to find out exactly if anybody bought this product, you're going to get in a lot of trouble. You're going to get in a lot of trouble, period. It's like finding out that you got a recall on something. You know you got the recall. You know the product was default, but you sold it anyway to the consumer knowing that this product was a defective product. And didn't do anything at all to alert the customers or the consumers of the situation, which means it'll find you guilty. So you got on camera and you talked about how this stuff doesn't match. Now you're going to have to convince the judge. I like this thing over here. So it's a lot of stuff he's going to have to do in court. It's going to prove our technology doesn't read. Comes up too dark. There's a bunch of things he's going to be hit with. So all together, it's somewhere between 12 and 13 lawsuits. It's quite a bit. and you will be revisiting the CCB. So keep in mind, the process server that came to your front door, you're going to get to know him because he's the one who's going to be using to execute judgment on you. Well, not execute judgment. He's going to be the one coming towards you to give you the documents and paperwork. And if you can't get in, he will notify your landlord. Because I'm bringing you to court, buddy. I told you it's going to happen. Can't sit there and make false accusations about people's products and then basically think you're going to get away with it. So whether you take the post-it note or not, but he's going to post it to your door, and we'll have pictures on our end that you just got posted. And I'm planning to garnish your paycheck too, by the way. Oh yeah, when I sue you, I'm taking everything. I told you I'm not playing around with this. You owe me a lot of money. So I'm going to garnish your paycheck and your income tax. So when you're working, now you're going to have to pay me. It's funny because we're in a police station. The officer that was scanning over the pictures that you took of me, the first thing he said, "You filed a lawsuit on this guy?" I said, "Yeah. Defamation." He said, "Good, good for you." So we got to open the shut case here. Well, I got to open the shut case. So remind you what I read off to you when it says that what I can sue you for: doxing my address, all that, even sued for all that. I can garnish your wages. Also, too, take some of that income tax you got too. That's $12,000, and you got 8 of these to go through. And the last one for slandering my company is $1 million, which I'm going to be taking you to civil court for. I will bring a lawyer for that when I have to, but I'll be suing you for $1 million. And that's for making false statements about my company and my business, about me being a scammer and ripping people off and doing fake demonstrations on YouTube about my products. Man, that's something beautiful. Let me see if I can track down one of these projectors, man. I like these projectors so much. Also, too, the cyber stalking, I'm suing you for that, too. So, like I said, that process server, you're going to see him a lot. A lot. That's the only one we're using. He already knows where you live at. So, not a problem. So you'll be seeing him real soon. Where is my phone? I want to see where we can get this projector. I like this projector so much. The person who sold me this projector, it has 300, it goes up to 3,000 hours on it. I only got like 244. He told me he never used it. I love this thing. I want to get another one, but I want it in 16:9. That's what I wanted it in. Came with a little bag and everything with it, which I lost the bag. I'm gonna get me another one. Let's see what this is gonna cost me. It should cost me less because I got that for 75. Okay. I guess hopefully learn something from this. You know, you go around and you do this kind of stuff, keep in mind that you're going not only get sued by me, but you're going to get sued by other people. This is why companies are not going to touch you. It's going to go on record that our company filed a class action lawsuit against you multiple times, and your companies were involved in defamation, which you're using my face without my permission. It's going to be on court documents that you were sued for multiple copyright infringements, mail fraud, perjury for LLC. All that's going to be on court document. No one will touch you with the 10-foot pole. You don't show up, mind you, everything's going to be recorded. All this is going to be documents, all going to be recorded. So this is going to go against your record. And on top of that, you already have charges, we already have filed with the FBI. So they can even go in there and go into that database and pull that up too. And this is going to trickle down to your job. You know this, right? Oh yeah, it is. Any creditors, anything that pops up, you're going to see that. Those liens, anything's going to pop up. That's what's going to happen. It's going to cause you a lot of damage. A lot of damage. And for the other ones who feel that we can't find, I said before, we have no problem. We got somebody paid somebody, we got somebody to take care of it for us. We got an investigator to take care of that part. Your buddy Jamie's going to dime you out in a hot second. He's going to tell everything there is about you. The minute that process server pops up at his front door, and I'm pretty sure when the first one popped up, his heart must have been pumping at 100 miles an hour. He wouldn't come to the door. They told us, they heard him in there. They heard him in there. He wouldn't come to the door. He had his wife come to the door. So they know exactly where you live at. That's why he did that whole fake move and all the other nonsense. Yeah, it's not just only us. He has other people hunting him too. Mind you, his LLC, those documents, they're extremely important. Very important. I know about them because at one point I thought it'd be nice to basically do business in California, but wait, what's going on in California right now? Nah, I'm good. There's a lot of companies leaving California. It's a shame, beautiful state, but there's a lot of companies that are leaving California now. So it's not in our best interest to do any business there anyway. But, and that's not to put anybody down in California, it's just the way things are going over there right now. But, as I said before, yeah, it's gonna that having that on your record is gonna cause you some problems. But that document right there, and when I wanted to look because I was curious about how come they have to go through these particular documents, this statement due document. We don't have them over here. We don't have to go through that. Once we finish the LLC, we're done. That's it. That's pretty much it. But only over in California they have that document. They have to have it up like in 6 months or some kind of statement due document. I'm like, what the frick is that all about? So I went and looked at it. I was like, geez, that's crazy. They have to go do that. I think that's him right now, upset. It may be him right now. Is he crying again? I told you, always crying. What you crying about, Jamie? It says Los Angeles, California. What are you crying about, man? You're getting sued. That's all to it. No one told you to do what you did to begin with. You're getting sued. That's what's going to happen. And, yeah, you're not going to be able to go anywhere. You can't move anywhere. You can't do nothing. Once we finish the rest of the paperwork, it's locked. It's ready to go. So, yeah, good luck with all that. Because, again, as I said before, I got entitled to everything now. I can take from your insurance, take from your taxes, income tax return. I can garnish your wages, everything to get my money. And I can sell your stuff off. So you can cry about all you want. It's not going to help you. No one told you to do that stuff at the end of the day. And again, like I said, you still have these, what's it called? The office that issues the LLC. And they've been contacting them quite a bit too. That document's a year old now. And now he's going to go on this particular list that they put them on for delinquent documents, and they're going to contact him. So when they get to a certain point, they're going to actually come down to his address and go visit him. And they're going to go in there and find out he doesn't have a business as he claims to have, and all the way to have, they're going to start requesting more documents from you. Documents beyond those documents that you don't have. Like you have a license to sue any business in California, which you're supposed to have. We have over here for the state of Pennsylvania. Do you have other employees working with you? Do you have an EIL number? Or EIL number. I should know that. Do you have a DBA? It's all that stuff in the day. It's a lot of stuff they're going to ask you. Because what you do is you open up a gateway now for them to go in and start an investigation because you're missing documents. And I mean, they're going to dig into other stuff, which they usually do. Yep. Let me see where he's texting. He's probably complained on the text. Let me see. That's him crying right now. Let's see what we got here. Nope, he's not leaving a text. That's not a customer. Customers don't usually call in that many times. That's him upset and angry. Well, Jamie, we got your number here. I'm going to forward this over to the investigator. I'm pretty sure he's going to be interested in this number, or whoever you are. You're probably him, but it's over in California, and he'll go figure out exactly who you are and where you live at. Because that's what we pay him to do. That's his job. So we'll take that number and we'll give it over to him, we'll forward it to him, and he'll figure out exactly who you are. And you're scared. I told you you're scared. Like I said, we're not the only agency looking for him. There's a lot of companies who are after Mr. Fernando. He got himself in some trouble. He got himself in some trouble. He did some stuff he shouldn't have did. But those documents, he's going to have them. You can't basically act like they don't exist. That's not going to happen. They're going to keep requesting and keep requesting, sending letters to his house, and it's going to get to a point they're going to come down and see him. You can't dissolve the LLC. Because in order for you to dissolve the LLC, because you can basically get rid of it, but you have to be to dissolve it. They're going to have to be the ones to do it. You're going to have to give them those documents regardless so they can dissolve the LLC. Other than that, it's just going to be an open delinquent case against them. And then they're going to start finding the daylights out of him. That's going to happen next. Now, if they find out that in his documents that his company has been around longer than he said, he's in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. And they're definitely going to file charges. It's definitely going to go right through. State of Attorney General Office, that's what it is. Those documents. So let me see. He's nervous, that's what it is. He's very nervous. He should be. Very should be. You should be very nervous. Very, very, very nervous. This time they know when they come up that the gate's going to be there. They're going to have to contact your landlord. And they're going to have to let him know that they have to serve you for court, for a lawsuit. The landlord's definitely going to contact you because he's going to know why there is a process server outside the gate wanting to get in to basically file. You have a lawsuit filed against you. And he's going to reach out to us. And this is where I'm going to send him over court documents, the incident numbers where he's been using his apartment to commit crimes. And guess what that is? That's an automatic eviction. Because again, you can't commit crimes when you're basically renting. That's what you did. So you can get yourself an eviction. And you're still going to have to pay me. Now, I'm expecting, when I'm done this video, I'm going to go home in a few minutes, you're going to sit there and you're going to cry about it. You're going to go on your YouTube channel, if you're not on it already, crying about it. You're going to cry about this and cry about that. Go ahead, cry your tears out. I'll see you in court soon. And if you don't show up, I'm still going to take your stuff. Doesn't make a difference. Now, as for the other charges involving us prosecuting your company for committing the fraud, I would strongly advise you show up for that. If you don't show up for that, you forfeit all your rights. You don't want to go through the appeal process. Next time, you learn a valuable lesson from this. Don't make false accusations about people's products, or you get you in a lot of trouble. Surprising he hasn't tried to do something stupid with those certified screens. Try to tamper with their products and make their products look awful. So you can pretty much try to make his products look like something that, something more than what it is. Like I said, you can't back this product up. They're probably going to get him for whatever the timeline was that he figured out that the product was matching house paint. They're going to count that time from there. So if he changes the product before we go to court, he's still going to get caught. He's going to just show that he's just guilty. What we're going to do is we're going to go back when he first figured it out, when he first saw it. We have the videos, so if you say you don't have them, we can give him videos. We have videos of you doing this stuff. and we can show this is where he found out. This is him on the receipt and everything. Your face is on the recording. All that is there. I got copies and backups on the flash just in case if you try to remove it off YouTube. We have it here. All your stuff is right there. It's backed up. Anything happens to my YouTube channel, not a problem. I have everything backed up. So you're not going to get out of this at all, period. Can't stand sneaky people who do dirty stuff and they just repeatedly just weasel themselves out of things. Who would that remind you of? And don't get caught for it, don't get busted for it, or nothing whatsoever. You're going to get busted, buddy. You're definitely going down for this one. I'm going to make sure of it. My lawyers are going to make sure of it. And I will be seeing you in court, and I will be filing a lawsuit against you. And you know what that judge is going to ask while we're in there? You know, hey, Mr. Bird, did you file criminal charges against this individual? Yes, we did, Your Honor. Where are the charges I ran? They're with the FBI. And they're going to go in, they're going to basically go in and try to figure out where those charges are at so they can actually quicken your case. Now, for the other people who followed Jamie at the day and did this dumb stuff, you're in a lot of trouble because guess what? Jamie's going to dime on you in a hot second. Yes, he is. He's going to squeal you guys out. We're already going to have you already. That's what the investigator is for. We're already going to have you already for the lawsuits. Where he's going to basically make sure that you guys get a ton of the blame. And if you think at the end of the day that that's not true, well, all you had to do was send down the black paint. You do know that's a nail in the coffin, right? The fact that he never sent down the black paint, which means that our product was as we claimed it was and it didn't work, then it should have been very easy for him to send down the black paint to prove that our product would become unwatchable, as he claimed we were scamming people with everyday black paint. And since he never sent it down after signing his name to a certified letter, and we never received it, he knew from the door if he had sent that product down here that we would have been able to overpower it and prove our product being victorious, and it would have worked 100%, and this wouldn't have looked well for him. So he kind of threw you under the bus already. Too easy. Yeah, the certified letter. We'll make sure the judge knows about this when we file the lawsuits. Oh, by the way, Mr. Fernando, you will be painting my screen up in that courtroom. I have a video, a couple of videos on that flash drive showing how you portrayed our products to look like. So you better get my product to match exactly how I have it on that video on your YouTube channel. If not, this is going to cost you a cool $1 million. And we know you don't have the money, we don't care. I'm going to stack you on a lien so bad that you will have to die 6 or 7 times to break even on that lien. Heck, the interest alone will kill you. You can sit there and laugh like I don't have $1 million. It doesn't make a difference if you have it or not. We want to put a lien on you, a heavy lien. That lien will pretty much stop you from anything. You can't do anything. Your credit, all that, that's gone. Completely gone. Can't borrow from a bank. Can't get a house. You'll be stuck in that apartment for the rest of your life. And if you're thinking about moving and getting yourself out, doesn't make a difference. If you don't show up for the lawsuit, you're going to get sued either way. It doesn't make a difference. You move, you don't contact the courts and say, hey, look, I got a lawsuit on me, I got some criminal charges on me, I'm moving. You don't, that's not my problem at the end of the day. It's going to be yours. So I really don't care about that. So you got to figure it out. You know, the only thing you're going to have to worry about, if you do happen to come down for the lawsuit, mind you, you'll be in jurisdiction, which means you can be arrested. They have charges on you. It's a bit of a pickle you got yourself into. So you'll be seeing my process server soon. I'm ready to get out of here. I gotta go. I'm gonna transfer your number over to my investigator, and he's gonna go from there for your number. We should have everything we need pretty soon. And then I'll transfer this over to the FBI, because anything that comes up, we have to transfer all that over. But I want him to figure out exactly where this came from, and then we'll transfer it over to the FBI. But I'm pretty sure it's from you. Oh man. Trouble people get themselves into. Well, I tell you, besides the multi-lawsuits, I think the best one is going to be seeing you in civil court. Mind you, got to go to federal court too because you got the mail fraud charges are coming up. No, that's haven't been forgotten. Those charges were filed, so you're going to be going to court for that pretty soon too, also. But consider the fact that when we go to court for you basically slandering my company, you're going to have to match what's on that flash drive. You're going to have to show that my product came up that dark. And if not, this is going to get you in a lot of trouble, and you will paint my screen up in that courtroom. Now, if you deny and you don't want to do it, you're still going to get sued either way. It doesn't make a difference. But if you want to basically back yourself up that our product does that, which again, you didn't give us our black paint, so that's not going to help. But you're going to go through some stuff, man. That's all to it. And these are the first people, when they go through this, they're one of the first ones that want to sit there and cry, whine to everybody else, oh, he's not a Christian because he's doing this, that, and the other to me. You brought it on yourself, man. It has nothing to do about being a Christian. At the end of the day, my man, you have to be prosecuted for your crimes. You don't get out of free jail card because you want to use the Bible as a shield. If I go out and I commit wrong, and I'm a Christian at the end of the day, guess what? I got to sit there in front of a judge, and I have to basically do whatever has to be done in order to basically put things on where they need to be. When I went out and committed those crimes and got myself in all that trouble, I didn't get out of jail free. I did 8 years and 9 months in that. So, no, you're not going to get out of free jail. Well, I gave you plenty of time. I gave you so many opportunities to go in a different direction, and you chose none of them. So, I'll see you in court. I gave you the opportunity, you didn't take it. And don't forget to have your lawyer call me, as you claim you said at the end of the day that you have some charges or something you're really filing. Knock yourself out. I don't want to hear. I haven't heard from your lawyer yet. Neither one I've heard from any of y'all attorneys at all. You claim to have these attorneys. You don't have a case at all. Period. Because the same thing that you claim that I violated, your products are the same things you're going to court for fraud, for basically selling products or trying to sell products that you know don't work at all, period. And you lied about these specifications on these products. And the same things that you said about me, about my products not working, is the same reason why you're being sued. All right, well, I'm done with all of that. What do I want to do right here? 4K demonstrations. I got this under the mark too. Under the mark, yeah. Under the mark. I like my black technology. I like the color paints, I do, but I do lean toward the black technology. This one first, I love it. It's like having a TV. And put this out. And I wonder what that BenQ projector is going to look like. No, the Dell's going to look like. Dell is 300 lumens. And this is my 50 lumen. That is going to look amazing on the screen. I wonder if it's going to look like this. This is 1,000 lumens right now. What if the Dell would look like that? I got to put the Dell 300 lumen projector next to the 1,000. See how that will look. I'm curious how that would look. Now, me coming on here doing this video, it just comes down to you guys being mad and upset because now I got colored screen paints. And it's bitter. It's making you very bitter. And watching us do tests on that product, you know you should be doing tests on your stuff. So every time we do tests on our products, every time we do things that they're supposed to do, I'm guaranteed there's a little guilt in there telling you that you're wrong and you should not be selling those products because they're not properly tested. You lied to your consumers, you ripped off your consumers. And this is the reason why when we go to search and try to find customers, we don't find any because your customers are quite aware that your products are matching house paint, they're not painting down correctly, screens are streaking, specification sheets are false, and websites are not done professionally. And on top of that, gentlemen, you both are accused of stealing Google images. You stole images off Google and tried to make them as if they were your own products. You got stolen images on your site right now. So you're upset and bitter about our new products. That's what you're bitter about. can't figure out why we're blessed to have such amazing technology. Hey, look, at the end of the day, you want to sit here and you want to prosecute my blessings from God. That's what you want to do. That's what you're trying to do. Taint my products. What do you think is going to happen to you? Nothing's good's going to happen to you at all, period. Not one thing. I remember one time this guy texted me and told me, oh, you think you're God. Literally sent me that text. No, I serve God. That's what I do. That's why you can't figure out when you guys sit up there all night trying to figure out how in the world is he making this much product this fast. Look at that. That's on a 600 by 800 res projector. Look at that clarity. And you get mad and upset with me at the end of the day. Because I work hard. And you don't. And you feel that it should be handed to you easy. No, you're going to work for it. If you have anything left when we get done with you. And yeah, he's scared to death. He's scared. Why do you think he did a whole fake move? Who does that? Who basically fakes a move? You've been in that same apartment since, quite frankly, since I've been in that little rented room. That's like 12 years ago. So in the timeline, you've been in that same spot. I've been in multiple houses. Actually, moved into an apartment. Hated it, didn't like it, came out of it, came over here, and then got another house. Didn't buy a house, rented another house. I refused to buy. Because that whole thing where you don't own the house at the end of the day, I'm not even going to go down that road at the end of the day. That's just messed up. Well, you don't own your house anyway. I love when people say, I'm a homeowner. No, you're not. No, you're not. Not even close to it. No, you don't own it. When you own the land, then you own your house. If you don't own the land, you're still paying taxes on it. You don't own your house. And if you think I'm joking at the end of the day, stop paying your taxes. See what happens to you. You pay your house off in full. You could do upgrades from here to there, whatever you want. You stop paying them taxes on that land, you will lose your property. And they'll come in and take it from you. It doesn't make a difference how much money, but it don't mean jack at the end of the day. Isn't that crazy? A slither of land underneath your house. And you can lose it if you don't pay on that. So you don't own your house at all, period. I go back and I like to look at way back like the 1950s, 1940s. And they first started talking about how the housing market is a huge scam. That you technically don't own your house. Now, if you look at other countries who they own the land, that land is passed down through generations. And they don't pay any taxes on it. They actually literally own the land underneath of them. But in certain places, you don't own your land. You don't own your house. It's not yours. And the way inflation's going now, it used to be you were cheaper off just mortgaging a home because mortgaging a home would be somewhere like maybe 5, 6. Some people pay 3. Depends. Now, man, a mortgage now can cost you just as much as what it costs to rent a freaking studio apartment downtown. People are paying $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 for a mortgage. A mortgage. That's the whole point of what people had. That's the only bragging section that they had when you basically mortgage the house that you pay less than a renter. You literally pay just as much as a renter now. And if you sit there and say, well, it's mine at the end of the day, no, it's not yours. That freaking sidewalk in front of your house is not even yours. Got a driveway, that's yours. That sidewalk is not yours, that's city property. You guys got to look into this stuff, man. If you start going out and buying houses, you got to really look into this stuff. Man, never will buy a house, ever. Unless I own that land underneath that house, that's the only way that I'm going to buy a house. That's it. Other than that, I'm renting. And that's what I realized when I came out of the little rented room and I rented my first house because I was in the process of buying a house after the little rented house that I got. And that's when someone told me about the land underneath the house. You don't own it, so therefore you will never own the house. And I started looking into it and researching, like, gee whiz, this guy's actually 100% right. So unless you own that land, and it's yours 100%, you can do whatever the freak you want on it at the end of the day. You own it. I think Slab City's that way. Slab City is an area that the government has no control over. which means that you can basically set up stake down there and build whatever you want. And at the end of the day, they can't tax you. They can't take nothing from you at all, period. Not a thing. Which I find interesting. Which is kind of funny because, again, if you think about it, in the earlier years of the 1400s, 1200s, whatever, there you actually own the land. You can literally just go out and just stake your land. That's basically about it. You just go out there and say, okay, this is mine. I'm staking it right here, and go down and get a documentation saying that it's yours, and you own that land. You put your cattle and whatever you have at the end of the day, that's yours. So where in the world did they start doing the taxes on that? Which I'm curious about that. And let's see, I got my mind's in another direction now, and I'm going to be doing research on that. There's one guy I was watching, he was showing people basically how to buy land. Or land lease. I'd rather land lease at the end of the day. But even if you do happen to get some land, you still can't, like I said, technically do what you want to do on it unless you have somebody go over your land at the end of the day to make sure you don't have anything on there that's protected by the government. Like you can have certain trees on there, you can have endangered species on there, you can have a strange bird that's protected by the government. Heck, you can have a family of bald-headed eagles out there. You can't do anything at all. Even though you own it, you can't. Or if you have a road passing through your land, you're responsible for maintenance on that road. Can't put a border there. You can't charge people extra for going past there. They can drive past there because there's literally a road there. Or if the township you're in has some kind of strange old rule that sits on the land, it may be active and you still have to follow it. Like a horse per acre. I've already seen that one. You can only have a horse per acre. There's a lot of stuff you got to look into before you buy land. So let me see. Let's see. One minute. Let me see. Slap City. I just found something on Steam, a game called Slap City. Gotta look that one up. If we're gonna deal with it tonight, wonder what that's about. Oh, please tell me that sucker's online. Slap City. So it's in California. Yes, sirree. Man, I'm telling you, man, with the ties that I got at the end of the day, man, I can build a fortress out there, man. I can literally build a fortress out there. Because you can have literally whatever you want. 50 cal auto turrets. Yeah, I can build a fortress out there. You know, my brain goes two different ways. There's a section of it basically where it does this, and there's another section of it where basically I can modify weapons. So it kind of works in two different ways. I prefer to stay away from that section of my brain and stick in this area right here. But yeah. But gee whiz, are you kidding me? Yeah, I could definitely put a fortress out here with no problem. Of course, I'd have to clear it. But it's no taxes, nothing, whatever you want. And then on top of that, I can build my reservoir system out here. I can build solar power galore, because there's not much sun up there. It's out in the desert. My goodness, I can, matter of fact, I would even go so far as in building a power station that I could basically charge them something like, not a lot of money, like 50 cents a month. Because I'm getting it for free anyway. But I just have the technology and money to do it. But that's it. Make a little profit, 50 cents. That's it. They can have unlimited power. On top of it, helps a lot of people out at the end of the day. But you're still going to have some form of protection while you're out there. And this is where we get into drones and we get into 50 cal auto turrets. Which don't want to actually use a 50 cal auto turn when you have to be another way around. I had tranquilizers or something like that. Because people do dumb stuff. People figure at the end of the day, you don't have no rules and no regulations out there, and they figure they can do whatever they want. There's no such thing as what they call utopia. It doesn't exist. Have you played BioShock? You should know that. Utopia doesn't exist. Man has been trying to do it for years, but it's virtually impossible. Because the devil exists, that's why. Rubber bullets, that would be fantastic. 50 cal auto turn with rubber bullets would be fantastic. Because then I won't hurt anybody. I can't kill anybody, which is good. That's fantastic. And I just hurt the person, and they'll just walk off the perimeter, and that's pretty much it. That'd be nice. Hopefully it never gets to that. I hope it never does. But I'm going to check that place out one day. I'm going to put it on my bucket list. I want to see what it's like out there. And I think it's the one area that they can't basically charge you tax. There's no tax up there. Let me see. So this place has no law and no taxes at all. And it's funny because people will look at Slab City and they think, oh, it's a bunch of this and a bunch of that. And any place you live at, you're going to have people like that. You're going to have people going to be ruthless and reckless. You're going to have people going to be saints at the end of the day. You're going to have that anywhere you go at the end of the day. But they seem to have this system, and I was watching it. There are police that do govern that area a little bit to keep it under control, which you know is going to happen either way, but not to a point where basically they don't have the freedom to do pretty much some of the stuff that they, you can't do in known places. But anyway, I do like the fact that you can literally build your own structure out there. And I can build my structure far away from that at the end of the day. If I decide to basically venture off and that becomes an option for me in life, it would be interesting. But I'm definitely going to have to fortify the area. That would be interesting. I was talking to a buddy about that. He goes to the Burning Man. He does those. Well, that's pretty much in any place. You're going to have that, crime and murder. That's pretty much, you're going to have that in any place. Heck, you can go outside your door and get shot. That's nothing. That happens just about every day. I lived in Philadelphia for just about the majority of my life. That was a common thing down there. It was basically getting shot. So, the fact that you're able to go out and come back home, it's a miracle, because again, a lot of people got killed. Wrong place, wrong time. When I'm talking about wrong place, wrong time, like you literally, this is how fast you can be killed, how fast. Corner store, fight could have broke up in there. You don't even know anything about it. You're getting dressed, you're coming out the door. You're going into the store where this guy just got into a fight. He maybe got the better half of the other person, and the other person's coming back with a gun, but you don't know this. You don't know what's going on. And he could just walk into that store and just blaze. Because most of the time, they don't basically just pick out the person. They usually kill everybody in the store. They just fire rounds through the glass, through anywhere. And I've seen it happen multiple times. Wrong place, wrong time. It's happened to me a couple of times. I got killed a couple of times in Philadelphia, a couple of times. But then after a while, you get kind of so used to it, it's like it is what it is. There a couple of times I almost got shot in broad daylight at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Literally almost got shot and killed. Real quick, real crazy incident, real quick. This wasn't recent, but it was the last time I was down in Philadelphia. Sneaker store, early in the morning, went down to go pick up a pair of kicks. And I'm in the store, I'm talking to my buddies, And the guy down the street has a barber shop. He does business down there. I'm not going to tell you what kind of business he does, but he does business down there. And he decided to go on a little trip up into New York City to take care of some other business. Now, as I said before, you're always being watched 24/7. You're always being watched. So someone noticed that the big man had left the nest and he went somewhere else, and that was the opportunity to go in and rob the nest. But the problem was the nest was fully loaded. So when they came there, they were met with a heavy gunfire. And this gunfire has spilled out of the barbershop into the streets. Which means at the time when I was sitting in the store, I was just about to cross the street to go pick up a slice of pizza. But I decided to wait because I was looking for these white New Yorkers I wanted to put inside of my, it's like I used to wear the suede, I constantly used to like wearing the suede Pumas. So the guy said he had some in the back, and I'm waiting there. And right around that time, that's where the gunfire went off. And I watched the man get shot 3 times right in front of the store. And this is 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Thank God the kids weren't out, because these guys were shooting up and down the street. So my buddy's car got hit a couple of times, their car got hit a couple of times, and the guy who got shot 3 times, and I watched the bullet transfer right through his back, his leg, and right around his groin area, but I don't think he got shot in that area, and hit the ground. I see the car back up, and they pick him up and drag him in the car, and they're shooting at the car. Yep. And you just look at it and go, because you're sensitized to it. You see it all the time. Now, people that are not used to seeing it, which would be the college kids. The college kids would be up at Temple University, and sometimes they like to come into the urban areas, for the food and the clothes and sneakers and stuff. A lot of sneakerheads, they go to these old stores and buy sneakers up and they sell them on eBay. But anyway, those are the ones that were scared to death. And us, we're used to it. We're sensitized to it. So we're like, it's bull crap at the end of the day. Man, I can't even walk outside and get a slice of pizza. I'd have got killed. Yeah, I'd have been perfect timing. If I'd have walked out that door, I'd have got hit. And you don't go home nervous like, oh my goodness, almost got shot today. No, it's a normal thing. Yeah, I almost got shot over there, man. They had the shooter right over there. Yep, guy got shot. I watched him. 3 bullets went right into him, came out the other end. I don't know where the bullets went, but they went somewhere. And it's just another day in the hood. That's it. So you don't realize how sensitized you're to all this until they start fixing the neighborhood up and bringing college kids, more college kids into the neighborhood. But the neighborhood's still violent, but they still bring these college kids in. I mean, you try to help some of the college kids in, like, don't leave your door open. Someone comes to your door, do not open it up. You know what I mean? Check through the window first. You know what I mean? You don't want a home invasion on your hands. Don't throw out stuff in the trash and televise what you have inside your house. Put everything in black bags, all that stuff. And you try to teach them some stuff, while you're living in that particular area. Some listen, some don't. But anyway, we'll be all out there and talking to the college kids. One night we're out having a good time. We're talking to these new college kids that just came in, and they started shooting around the corner on 13th Street. And we just sat there, and they all ran in the house and shut the door. And I'm like, where are you going? Like, you're not going to travel over here. It's way on the other side over there. It's around the corner. That's it. They're not used to it. And then you realize, like, gee whiz, when you walk in the house, that's kind of messed up. That you're freaking used to that kind of stuff. And that's when it kicks in. That you should have been more like them, because you don't want to be to a point where you want to be so, you're not, you're used to that kind of violence. That's the messed up part about it. That's the messed up part about it. You really think about, like, gee whiz, man, my life been in this mess this long that I've got used to this? Yeah. So used to it. 4K demonstrations. And you realize once you get out of the hood and you get into a real nice neighborhood, it never leaves you. It'll be with you for the rest of your life, forever. You will never have a normal life. Never, ever. You will never know what it's like to trust people, sit down with people. You have hey neighbor, how you? You'll never have that ever. You'll always be as if the first day you walked into the hood. You'll always be that way, no matter what. It never changes. That's why some people can understand, like, people get out of the hood and they try to act different. They try to be normal. They try to, but that part of you, that survival part, it never goes away. I carry a firearm everywhere I'm at. Everywhere. I've been carrying a firearm ever since when I left out of the hood. I always carry a firearm on me. It's messed up, but it's true. Now, Christian man, yes, I believe in God and all that, but that imprint in my head of carrying that firearm is something I have to have on me 24/7. I have to have a firearm on me, no matter where I go. When I go into a restaurant, I always eat with my back to the wall so I can see everything coming in. And there's certain things that kick in, they call it, what's your survival kicking in, that you will always be that way. And then you realize at the end that you think that, okay, if I get out of this violent neighborhood and I get into a good neighborhood, I can live a normal life. And you get into the good neighborhood and you find out you can't have the normal life because you will always be that way because of what you've been through. Can't go to backyards, barbecues, none of that stuff. Who's going to be there? Yeah, so-and-so? Yeah, I'm good. I'm not showing up because, from the door, I don't feel like going through it. You always have to investigate everybody's around you. Like, that's how people call it. Some people call it paranoid. No, because you've been through some stuff. You've been through some stuff. I learned that lesson from finding out who's at the party, because at one point I was at a project party and two rival gangs had walked into each other and they started carrying on. They started fighting and shooting in that place. That's why you always ask, who's going to be there? Are they going to be there? Oh, they're going to be there. I'm not going to be there. I'm not trying to get shot tonight. It's messed up, baby. Like I said, it's true. Now, the good thing about it is the mentality, once you change, the mentality changed for me. I'm not that person anymore. I used to be a violent person, but I carry my sidearm to protect myself. So if I do get in a situation, because the way the world's going now is you can't even walk into a freaking Walmart without somebody going there and shooting the place up now. And that's gotten to a point now. And I remember that was never a thing. You could go into Walmart, Kmart, it'd be rare you would hear about something like that. Now it's almost like an everyday thing now. So pretty soon, God willing, I'll be off the grid. I don't want to have to deal with that nonsense anymore. What do we got on here? Just some fruit. Yeah, black technology. I want to make another black screen. Look at this black screen. You've got so many black screens. Different black screen now. I want something else. Oh, that'd be cool. Now that would be freaking cool. We could design that. Maybe we do too many formulas and we start designing different forms of types of screens. But that would be cool. How would that even react? Oh wow, that would be cool. That would give like a kind of a hologram kind of 3D effect. Yeah, but what would the app do that apply to? It's not going to apply to everything. But it would be interesting though. I would like to put, I'm going to put one together. I'm curious to see how that would react. And could you do that? No, that would involve HV. That H blend, that would definitely involve that. You definitely need that. You could pull that off. I want to make some little portable screens. I guess I can get something pretty cool. That's something pretty cool. I think that actually can be done. Let me see. That could definitely be done. I'm going to do some research on that. This is why I need the 50 lumen projectors, the small projectors. Those are fantastic for doing tabletop displays and some of the projects I'm working on would be fantastic for those. I can build my micro mini screens with those and I can test some products out on those. And that's what I want to start working on. Besides other stuff we're working on. I still got the color screen paints to finish off. Oh, and by the way, thank you for the support. We sold quite a bit of our new technology, so I'm happy about that. going to add some other colors coming up pretty soon. I'm curious about working with some neon colors because I wonder what how neons would react to the element process. So I'm going to test some of that out. All right, get you out of here. One tap and get the bag. Mr. Taco. Mr. Taco. Okay, she's off. All right. And see what I mean? We don't call him. We never call him. No, we got his number. You know that. We have his number. We don't call him. That's not for me. Me call him. Why would I call him to begin with? That's just stupid. No, we don't do that. He calls us. That's what he does. That's what he does. Well, we got April, May, and June. We'll be filing our lawsuits. And I'll be reaching out to the process server that we got because I do have to take it to court for copyright infringements for my Black Series edition and for my my Crystal Edge technology screens. I got plenty of time. Statute limitations are not up on that. So when we file, you'll get the same document that'll pop up at your front door, but this time I know how to do it because last time I basically couldn't understand the documents, but since once you do it the first time, you'll never forget those documents ever again. So yeah, I know how to file them now. So I got plenty of time. Go in, get the documents, drop them off to $160 for the court fees, which you're going to be paying me back anyway. All court fees are going to pay me back. And get that processor to your front door. We're going to take it to the CCB. Get that done. It's about $30,000 a pop for each one. So yeah, that's about 60 grand right there. And then the other one's around 12 grand a pop. There's about 4 or 5 of those. And then it's that $1 million one you're going to be hit with. Which the next time, learn the lesson. If you're going to talk trash about someone's product, then talk trash about it. But don't do falsifying stuff like doing fake demonstrations and mixing people's products with black paint, claiming you have this and claiming you have that, using copyrights without permission, using people's faces without permission. That stuff can get you in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. And he's going to find out because this process server is going to be at his door quite a few times. And keep in mind, some of these guys might not be satisfied with the whole leaving you a post on the door. They're going to track down where you work at. They'll come to your job and serve you. So either way, you're going to get served that paperwork to be in court. Either going to get you at your job or they're going to get you at home. But one way or another, they're going to get you. And sooner or later, you're going to have to leave that apartment. And some of these guys will sit out there and wait for you. It's a process server. That's what they do. That's his job. That's what we pay him to do. So if you notice that thing, he's in the house and he's not leaving, that's the reason why he's not leaving, because there's a process server. And if they get used to, and this is one of the things I found out, if they get used to you seeing them, they'll switch up and get somebody else, which you don't know and you've never seen before. So at any given time, someone's going to walk up to you and they're going to hand you some documents, or they're going to post it to your door. Either way, as long as that document is there and they send that picture back to us, we can send it to the judge and let them know that the process server has executed the documents, and we can go from there, and then we'll see you in court. So that's all that has to be done. That's it. And since the paperwork was already done, we just go in and reactivate the case, go pay them the $160 again, and then this time, since we know everything, we'll just get it all done, get it finished, and contact this guy, which we had to find a process server in California. This is how we found this guy. So contact him and say we'll be in contact with him again. So I think I'm going to file probably about 6 of these lawsuits in April. Between April and May, it'll be 6 lawsuits firing up. And remind you, because you have an LLC under your company and a Crow screen paint, this is where we found the majority of our copyrights on your website, which means they'll go into Wix And they'll go through all their information to find out. If you sit there and say that, well, I don't own the website, so and so and so, your billing information, all that's there showing that you actually own that website, including the domain, because you have to pay for the domain. You pay a yearly cost in order for maintenance for your domain. So you own the site, we know that. Or at least I'm used to seeing them lie all the time anyway. So we'll see you soon. I gotta go. All right, we're leaving. There we go.